All right. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Oh, my voice sounded good there for a sec. um, it looks like it's going through okay. As I said, everything is updated in the last 4 days, so God only knows. Um, it looks like it is, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Um, yeah, so we'll see if the voice holds up the entire time. I tried not to do too much talking over the last couple of days. It seemed like the more I talked, the quicker the voice went, but we shall see. I got one of those special cough drops in, right? I didn't realize there's like regular cough drops with just like menthol, and then other cough drops, special ones that actually have something in them. I'm on those right now, and yeah, it's weird. You leave the cough drop in one spot for too long and move it, and it's numb. So yeah, um, I probably will cough a bunch too. So I apologize right off the bat if that is happening. Let me get this over here. Hold on one sec. Let me get. There we go. Let me drag this over here. Ugh, so much coughing. So much coughing. That is fine. Just not drag. All right. So there we go. See, I'm already coughing. With that said, I just figured the easiest thing to do would just be kind of to roll it back from Monday since we haven't been on, just to kind of touch on the kind of where we're at right now, how we got here. Starting off Monday, you can see the wage price index. Again, wage growth is one of those things that we're seeing really kind of across the board that a lot of people are pointing fingers at. Wasn't as high as expected, was expected to increase, did not. You tend to want to kind of see that. By the way, I'm not 100% back, but I did try coffee this morning, and I'm wondering if that's why I'm coughing because I went back to the coffee this morning. I was like, I just can't do it. Can't do chart school without it. Um, yeah, I feel like I've definitely coughed more in the last 10 minutes than I have in the last 24 hours. So, yeah, maybe I rushed the coffee a little too soon. Anyway, that started off strong. Obviously, this has been the kind of the narrative of the week is China. The industrial production was down, retail sales was down. You're seeing things here about China's sliding one could be the next black swan event for markets and hedge funds. Um, Again, China is a big, it is the main growth country right now in the entire world. If it struggles, everything else will also struggle at the same time. So again, you're seeing it. China here. China's housing slumps worse than expected. CPI expected to rebound a little bit. China escalates the battle against Juan Bear. So everything is China, 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 China. And that date on Monday did not start off well for China. On Tuesday, again, Tuesday, um, you know, average earnings higher than expected, obviously in the UK, which is great. Claim account, and it was kind of mixed. It was not as bad as it was previously, higher than expected there. Again, kind of having that red green there throws it off. Going into the CPI data, again, CPI higher in Canada than expected, over double. Not a whole lot difference in there. Retail sales much higher than expected. Empire State Manufacturing down big, but we've seen that before. We've seen that before. So, yeah, kind of one of those things. And then obviously retail sales higher than expected, a double double, an adjustment before, and then even higher. So, again, thank you, Neuro. I knew you weren't on right away because I was like, I asked if it was good. I'm coughing a lot more. I got those special cough drops in. Um, I've coughed more in 10 minutes talking than I have in the last day of not talking. So we'll see we'll see what I feel like afterwards. I guess is the big question. Um, I think with these quote special cough drops, they're just medicated. They're like Mucinex ones. I should be able to make it through, but we'll see. Um, yeah. I think it's my voice is a little raspier than normal. Is the only difference. Again, you may not be able to tell with the way that it changes your voice going through, but I can tell in listening to it. Um, I can tell that it's raspier. But thank you, bud. Appreciate it. Retail sales being much higher. Again, we would expect to see the Fed basically say, "Hey, listen, we can keep raising, guys. People are spending money. We're not hurting the economy. We want to get inflation back to where it needs to be." The whole narrative. New Zealand held. They're expected to hold no major statements there. Yesterday, again, pound data, CPI, expected to go down, but it didn't go down as much as they wanted. And remember, the mandate and kind of what everybody's really looking for is around 2 to 2.5%. 6.8 is still extremely high, especially on a yearly basis. Remember, we got all the excuses about that yearly about, well, there's this and that. And, you know, again, you can see how the narrative changed. Before it was like, oh my God. And then look, it's really working great. And then they switch the core, and now that they're seeing this one, they're making excuses for it. So again, higher than expected. Seeing that wage growth there for the UK was good. Also, FOMC meeting notes, nothing crazy. Uh, Employment data for Aussie. Um, Instead of gaining just a few jobs, they lost about the equivalent in the other direction. So that was kind of a big swing. The unemployment rate also going up. Again, this is what you would actually expect to see in the United States. The Fed said they would need to get to 4.6 would be the magic number, but yet we are magically not there. You can see, again, this going up shows that Australia may hold a little bit more than what they had been holding. And then obviously today, this morning, unemployment claims came in just a little while ago, pretty much dead on. The forecast was 240. 239 was where it hit. And then obviously, Philly Fed may say, wait a second, the other one earlier in the week was horrible. Yes, Empire and Philly tend to kind of flip flop back and forth. That one was expected to be positive, right? Um, where is it? There it was. That wasn't expected to be, or sorry, it was negative. It's expected to be just a slightly bit negative and was big, minus 19. And then magically, whoops, and then magically today, it was expected to be pretty big down, minus 9.8, and it was positive 12. So doesn't tell us a ton. That's why it's an orange reading, but overall pretty good. But again, dollar strength is kind of the name of the game. We're seeing these great data for the United States. Now, with that said, it's funny. It's the first broadcast of the week for me, obviously because of this head thing, or I guess it's sinus thing, throat thing. I don't know. She said it's both. I have acute acute, what is it? I can't say the word. Acute sinusitis, right? She's like, oh yeah, something's going on. And again, maybe it's because of the tournament that I played in last week, right? Maybe I'm allergic to the grass they have in Ocean City. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what killed me. But yes, I have acute sinusitis, however you say that word, and then acute, because I guess it's not chronic, so it's acute. Um, Pharyngitis, I guess is what it is. I don't know. Basically, I was strep negative. She's like, yeah, you don't have strep. She's like, but everything is swollen. And it still feels like I swallow like yesterday. It was still like, I don't know. Felt like I had like a golf ball that I was trying to swallow past. It wasn't pain though, right? Every other day this week, it's been swallowing past. I got like a spiny golf ball. Today, it's more like a marble. So like it's the first day that's been like, oh yeah, I can swallow past it, right? But it's still like Monday, right? Nothing is close to a daily ATR -3, -8, 12, -14. Like, what is this? I expected lots of movement. Maybe I should do it from last week. I mean, even the pound yen, 38, nothing big, right? Pound dollar. Again, you are seeing pound strength. I think the data justifies the pound strength that we saw. But for the most part, everybody's just kind of holding. I don't know if it's vacation. It's like that. Yeah, that second week, kids are going back to school, whatever it is. Um, yeah, not crazy amounts of movement, but everything is from when we talked last. There's definitely a lot of movement from then till now, right? Which has been good. So there's been a bunch out there. Now tomorrow morning, again, not a whole lot. Again, this may be kind of the reason why we're not seeing big movements. Retail says expected to be extremely negative, not extremely negative, but it was positive zero point 0.7 before, and then all of a sudden it's swapping back to minus zero point 0.6. I think actually this could be, again, it is super early. It is 2 o'clock in the morning. But again, if that comes in, even if it's negative, okay, think about this. We're not having a lot of movement today. So the market, again, the people that are trading are going to want to get some trades in. It's the only release really tomorrow at all for anybody, right? Expected to be pretty negative. So again, if it comes in negative, the market's already got that factored in. But what if it's negative and only at like a 0.4, right? What if it's a minus 0.4? Well, if it's better than expected, that would be more of a pound strength based move. Heck, what if it's positive? Or what if it's flat? What if it's zero? Much better than expected. That's positive. What if it's a positive number? What if it's a 0.1? Still better than expected. So if your three outcomes comes in exactly as expected, no movement. Comes in negative but not as bad, that's pound strength. Comes in as a positive number, also pound strength. Now, it could come in worse than expected, but they were already expecting for negative. So I mean, you got to play this one two out of three ways on this one. I think there's a lot more likeliness that we could see some pound strength coming out of this. And again, we did have some pound surprises earlier this week. So, the CPI being better than expected, claim account a little bit worse than expected. So it could be split. You never know. But I think it could be a potential for a pound strength based news release tomorrow because we ain't got nothing else. It's kind of what we're boiling back down to. I'm not going to kind of review all the different changes and everything like that. I'll have a prudent monetary policy will be precise and forceful. I love when they use the B. They have like writers. It's like, okay, make this sound really, really important, right? You know, I love this. We're going to keep liquidity reasonably ample. What exactly does that mean? Reasonably ample, right? Give me somebody that's not an English major, right? Hey, we're going to keep that reasonably ample. Uh, right. Right. I mean, that's definitely kind of the Melissa just took off. She's on the way back today. She said Jin was crying on the jet Brit. So the kids had a great time going out, and then for some reason, I guess now Jin was scared to get back on an airplane, and she just said Jin is crying on the jet bridge. She's scared of the plane falling out of the sky. Now she's scared of heights. So Reese is scared of heights, and now Jin. I was like, she was all excited. I told her, I was like, hey, we'll get a Slurpee when you get home. She's like, yay. So she woke up really happy. All right. Um, so yeah, reasonably ample, I don't know. But yeah, she's trying to give me updates. Jin's like, hold on. Okay, she said it's not a full meltdown. She's just crying. Not full on scream and kick. Okay. So she's gonna survive. Yeah, so she made it out with absolutely zero problems, but a little bit different on the way home, I guess. All right, so let's jump over the chart. So VIX. VIX is higher than where we were dealing with last week, right? Um, we were dealing and talking about 12s and 13s. We've had a jump up. It's not peaked. I mean, peak obviously was Tuesday up here at 18. You can see that the lows are down here around the 1450. Um, um, 1660, I would say, is not as high as what we've seen. Not recently, but we talked about 20 being the ceiling, 13 being the bottom. So we're kind of in the middle. And with lack of any real news, it has crept up a little bit. And again, a lot of this will be, what's really happening in China. Are we going to have problems? Um, So we should see it kind of top out once the market's open and people are seeing that the world's not in today. We should see it roll back down again. As far as the dollar goes, the dollar is technically down a little bit right now. Again, from where it peaked. Its peak up at 103. This is kind of a high. When we look back, you can see the last time we were back here was in June, and we've been on a steady increase to the top side. All the data is kind of justified it being up this high. I think with the morning pullback today too, and again we'll talk about kind of where the market's really opened. We talked about that 3 o'clock, and it really kind of peaked up, and then about that 5:30 time frame. Again, we are hitting a level of base, and we pushed down, and then the market opened, ran into it, and then we reversed back down again. Kind of one of these standard. There's your post hours. It dropped down, and then all of a sudden, boom, 3 o'clock hits. It turns, and then boom, we found an area buyer. So we're at a point right now. Um, I kind of yeah, it's gonna be a long trip. Melissa doesn't drink, but she's gonna need a drink when she gets home. Yeah. So Jin's not happy. So Kip decided to add fuel to the fire, and you know, stole her tablet. So now she's melting down and kicking the lady's seat in front of her. Or Melissa. Anyway, right now we're in an area of buyer, so we should see this kind of rally back up again. Plus, it's again U.S. session. We tend to see more of this. Um, all right. Indices all slightly in the red. And when I say slightly, Russell's about to kind of blink red here a little bit. You have NQ up 0.06, 0.02, 0.18, 0.23. Not a lot of movement, but no real data. Um, Again, with lack of any kind of crazy data out there, again, it should take up a little bit today. I don't know. Like I said, with lack of any real catalyst today and tomorrow, there's no reason why the market shouldn't move. With China failing, that does kind of help us a little bit as well. As far as commodities go, with the dollar being down just a little bit, you tend to see commodities up. And again, that's what we're seeing right now. Been a lot of movement. We were talking about 83 oil back into the 80-30 range, right? Um, Natural gas, again, oil's up 1.2%, but again, it's only 80, so it's technically down from when we spoke last. Natural gas up 2.5%, but again, 263. Gold, it's up, but technically it's down from when we talked last. We were in that 20 to 30 range. We're at 1897, below that 1900 right now. Silver up 1.65%, but 2277, right? Um, um, So again, rallying high below that 23 where it should be. Again, I think both of these are in decent spots. Again, gold. I think gold is in a more appropriate position than silver right now. But again, any type of news or anything, silver should spike ton. And again, right now they are kind of a little bit off. Gold up 0.3, but silver technically should be up 0.6. It's 1.7, so it's way beyond. Um, okay. Let's go over Aussie dollar. All right, so Aussie dollar. Obviously, some big movement in this one. We can adjust everything back again. You can see, we talked about a little Harry Potter coming through here. You can see it bounced off of it a few times, bing, 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 and then finally went in the other direction. So we'll pull that. Let's drag this and bring this one down. Let's pull this down. Oh, this was this big spike over here. So yeah, so that's what we're dealing with right now is this big spike. So let's pull this off. Let's go over see what we got as far as continuation goes. Yeah. So right now, again, we know where the dollar is, right? We know where the dollar is. I would say there's a little bit of a zone right here, and you can see that's kind of what we're bouncing off of. Right now, we know that the dollar's in an area of buying as well as this. Let's see how big of a zone it actually is. Um, it's about 20 pips, which is a little bit bigger on this one than we typically like to see. There is a confirmation there though as well. So, let's see. It's a little bit late now, but maybe we get a little bit of help in a pullback on this one. Um, how far does it need to move? Yeah, 1 to 3 is right there. So, yeah, this is more of a kind of 8:30ish in the morning type move. If you're in this one, I think it's pretty decent. I mean, obviously, right now we're hitting a little bit of buying right now. Right here, and then we have a little bit of a run all the way down the profit target. So it's not bad. Um, this was nothing before. It also kind of coincides. And again, although I know, again, there'll be somebody that's a fib trader. It's like, it didn't hit. There's a 23, so we know that this entire area from here to here is going to be selling pressure in there. And we do kind of have a base and then kind of a front run pullback. So there's a zone in there with the dollar index where it is. I think this is probably a pretty decent short. 20 is a little bit big for the Aussie dollar as far as risk goes. It's only got a 70 pip ATR. 20 is pretty big. It has a 4-hour ATR of 33. So a little bit more than I like, but again, it's an area that's backstop. It's a pretty clean base, and there is a front run, so it's not bad. It is pushing down. There is a small buying area in close proximity, but I think this one, um, Yeah, I think that would. I think this one's pretty decent. I like that one. As far as the Aussie goes, again, pulling up. Let's see. We ended up getting this kind of over here. Let's clear a lot of these off now. Mm, that, that, that. This is still. Hold that there. That target's still good. This was just a zone. I'm not going to worry about that one as much. This one is still fine. It got front run again, which is great. That's awesome that it did that. Again, gives more more credence to this one. Let's see. Zone. Yeah, it's a 50. Yeah, I would say this one's a little bit late to enter. It's a little bit too far, right? Um, I think this one goes in line with what we're seeing with the Aussie dollar. Could you have traded this one? Yeah, you could have. Absolutely. Right. There's a level of basing right in there, and then it kind of stumped. It just kind of fell off a cliff, and that's kind of what it looked like. Backstop by 50. Could have absolutely traded this one. It's a little bit deep now, right? If it pulls back now, I'm not interested because of the two highs in there. But this is very much right. This is very much the same as the Aussie trade, just with the yen instead of the dollar. And look, all it's doing is pushing back. It's kind of a clear path, but it's too deep now to get into. But again, you may say, well, why would I draw it this way, right? Well, the reason why is because this is the easy high to low, right? We're playing inside of that range, but this is Monday here. So if you take this week's high, which is right here on Tuesday, dropping it down to Wednesday's low, that last big major push down, it's backstopped by the 50. And yes, I know, you know, people are looking at the 23, the 61, but we all know that old halfway back strategy. We know that the 50 is a big deal, right? A lot of zeros halfway through. We know that that's one that people like. And that's exactly what we're seeing. There was a base there and it dropped off. The exit was awesome. It pulled up, hit it, backstopped. It kind of gave us one little hiccup and then started to collapse through. There'll be people getting in right now. So again, it's two Aussie positions with kind of a short in there. I think both of those make a lot of sense to drop that to the downside. Okay. Again, too late now. Right. Great. I love my mother, but yeah. Um, I think this one is same line. Okay, so you guys get the point. Aussie dollar, euro dollar. All right, so euro dollar, kind of the same thing. We'll run the overall fibs down on this one. You can see one, two, three. Look at that, four, and then it collapsed. And then what did it do? It pulled back up, grabbed it, and it's still kind of the same level. But let's remove that one, clean some of these off. I'm still going to keep that one on. This is that bigger zone. Yeah, there's so much drama down here. All right, kind of the same thinking on this one. Um, Again, you got a high sitting right there. You got a low right there. Um, eh, there's a 23.6 level in there. I understand why it's going down. I don't like this one as much. I don't think this one is as clean, right? It's not like a great backstop level. There's two peaks in there. Not really great. The exit wasn't wonderful. It did have a pullback. It's okay. I mean, I could draw this one. This would be one of those like, oh, look at this, like a hindsight 2020 thing. You could do it. It does make sense, right? It does make sense. There is a 23 there. It's not the best of zones. We did see the dollar index in an area. It looks very much like the Aussie dollar. So again, if you're in this one, it's not the worst of positions. I think it's a rather small risk level. Yeah, it's only 16. So it's not the worst of positions out there. I like the Aussie better than this one, particularly with what we're seeing with the Aussie yen. Um, so yeah, yeah, it's there. The big thing I'm looking for in this one is we have a zone that's really been front on multiple times down here. I think we really need to kind of be cautious. I don't know. It's about 60 pips down. This only has a daily ATR of about 74 right now. So big question is, can we, what can we do with this one? Huh. That zone is sitting 108.37 is where it's at. Again, hit multiple times, but man, it barely can breach. Look at this thing. I mean, it can barely, once it took off, I mean, front run, barely touched it, barely touched it, barely touched it. It just keeps taking off, right? Um, I think right now that is our downside target. If you are getting short this position or you're looking to get short the euro dollar, I think 108.37 is really where you want to be like, hey, listen, I'm going to take my profit, maybe bring it up a little bit, maybe do like 108.40, take a few pips out on that one. Um, yeah, I don't think this bottom holds much longer. So I think right now, if you are short, great. If you need reason to take it short from that level, you do have a couple. It's not my favorite in that area. I do actually like the levels though up here when we're doing the same draw. If we do start to kind of push through that level, there is a base here at the 50, and I actually don't mind this little candle here. So I think there's probably a level sitting somewhere between the 61.8, if I had to draw that level there, as well as that level there. You see that there's kind of two in there. I think the 50 61.8 level, let's see, where does that come in at? Anywhere from there to about there. Let's see. Let's just draw both those. Let's go from there to there, and we're gonna do that one orange. I think this has a high probability of being a reversal level. And again, the 109.50 to 109.80, too much of a zone. That 30 pips is just too much to be able to take it as a trade. But there's two levels, 50 and 61. Pick your poison. I think both of them are pretty decent in there. If that one rallies back up again. Right now, the way that I'm looking at this is I have an area of selling that over here. And again, I'd like to see a confirmation out of it, as well as an area here at 108.30 that has been, you know, respected very well, right? Ding, ding, ding. And it barely breaches a few pips into that zone. Right now, with it being Thursday, if we can't breach either of those two by Friday, this could be kind of Sunday where we kind of set ourselves off at. It could be more of a swing trade versus a long or a short in either direction. So I think both those are good. And I think that what we've seen in the context out there, I think they're kind of lining up to it. So right now, if you're short, I think you're good. Target, again, I'd probably put the target at 108.40. But again, if we can end Friday down here, or maybe even the US session, maybe we start the US session down here, that could give us a kind of rally up or a rally down, depending on where we are. But right now, we're kind of in the middle of buyers and sellers. Euro pound. All right, so Euro pound. We're calling for Harry Potter in here, and look at this. It kind of came through and it started the base. It did give us a pullback, but it wasn't super clean. And remember, this is such a small area. We were calling for shorts, right? We were talking about this one coming all the way down. You can see even down here, it hit in base. So it's hit all our profit targets at this point. We were really looking for a good entry, whether you got into that entry or not. Um, Again, it did give us the pullback. It kind of missed the zone by just a little tiny bit. Like, it was trying to base it through here. So I'm kind of pushed up and down in the zone. It did pull up. There's a little zone there, but again, maybe didn't get in that one. I don't know. Right now, I think here's the last kind of high. This is kind of where we are right now. But with this rallying all the way back up again to there, it touched the 78. I'm going to remove it and redraw this one. I'm going to use it from the current kind of trend that we're on right now and see if anything lines up. You can see a little bit of basing in there. I think right now, looking at this level of basing right here, it did leave pretty well. It is kind of front run by a 23.6. I think that's probably where we're looking for this one to reverse. Again, we've had great data out there for the pound. It's only about 8 pips, so it's not really a big trade. Again, U.S. markets closing, or not U.S. With U.S. market opening, the pound, has a little bit more time. It's only got to move about 22 pips from now till then. I think this one, you target this one and say, hey, listen, I mentioned that there could be a good pound strength trade coming in tomorrow. If we're able to kind of rally back up, the market kind of prepares for this, right? It's weak, right? It's weak, right? Holy crap, retail sales is way down. That's weakness, right? It's weakness. We're calling for a strength-based move. If this is able to kind of push its way up, and we're sitting up in that level, it's only 8 pips. It's only 8 pips, right? So, yeah, I think it's probably a decent short for tomorrow if we can get back up there. Again, it's kind of slow right now, but once the market closes, I think the market looks at that and says, weak pound data, weak pound. Now, it may also shoot right back down to the 85. Again, remember the market knows. We'll kind of see where it goes. But right now, the plan for this one is if this one pushes up, which it should, the market should be prepared for that weak data. If it pushes up, we should see that level come back in again. Just so you guys can see it again. You should draw it on your charts. But this will be up here at 85.64. Okay, 85.64. Now, euro yen is all over the place, right? We talked about coming up to that level and hitting it last week, and what did it do? It went down, right? We were talking about here from the news last Thursday, Friday. It died on us, right? It kind of went down. And what did it do? It rallied back up. It went basically to the same level, right? We can, get the new high in here, put the new high, right? New high put in, red, green, red. Confirmation came in, and bam, look at that. Boom, 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 boom. All the way through. Hasn't been able to break through the bottom side, though. So we're really kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place with this one. Again, there's, the zone between this one is about 35 pips. You know, it's got a daily ATR of 130, right? We're talking about 130, right? 130.50, right? 130.50 is how much this one is able to move. 4 hour ATR of 35. It's really kind of just deteriorating. It's like, ooh, this is only 30 pips. It's a 4 hour ATR back and forth. It's really, really sideways. It's sitting kind of on the high side. Neither side, right? Neither side is really able to win at this point. We were looking getting short at 160. Right now, it looks like 159.20 is kind of the top side, and what and 158 what 80 basically on the other side. So again, about 40 pips top to bottom. We really need to clear it. The problem is, I think to the bottom, even if we break through this bottom side, we got buyers here right below it. We got buyers right here below it. We have an area here that we've hit a few times, but again, barely breached through. I think that's the best opportunity for a long is sitting right there. But right now, again, it's basically sideways, right? Basically sideways. So not really a great trading market. No big catalyst or anything like that. Um, yeah. And even for a sell, I mean, I don't really want to sell at this area. Hit, 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 hit. It should push through the top side a little bit more. But the question is, you know, in this last little bit over here, is there going to be more? Right? Again, no catalyst, sideways movement. Not really necessarily interested. Um, I'm trying to move the cough drop. Like, so the cough drop has like I guess it's a medicated center. So I'm like trying to move it and like redirect it. They're off. They're in the air. Kip is trying to pass out, and she thinks Jin's gonna go out too, which is good. All right. So as far as pound dollar goes, we're seeing a reversal. No clean levels up top on this one. You can see this level got chopped. Look how much time it really kind of the price banded through there. If that was a profit target, it hit it. It was out. The next level lower ended up missing it by a little bit. We got pretty close on that one. Yeah, 9 pips. Um, Oh, sorry, that was going there. All right, so no real great. The problem with this one is it's going in the same path as dollar strength coming back with the U.S. market. Right now, we should see this continue down. There's not really a great sell over here. Um, it- this candle, unfortunately, just yeah, right? It's just yuck. I would expect this one to go down. I think as far as if you did get short on this one, or for some reason you like this one, um, again, buying is coming in. We've kind of already hit that this morning. It was a 5:30 reversal coming off that level. If you are short, I think this really needs to be your target for the day. This 127. Let's turn this black because it's a buy. Um, it's a buy for close. Right around 127. I'd say probably take this to 127.05. Right? If you whoops. Right. Um, there's a little hiccup right here. It's not big enough to really create a Harry Potter trade out of. If you were able to grab the top, great. If you were looking to get into it, it's got a decent room to run on this, right? About 50 pips to the downside. I think once it clears this area at 127.43, I think you come all the way back down again. I don't know. I think this one is very similar to the euro pound, and this actually may be the way to play it. We know we have that pound data. We do think it'll be some good strength coming in. Um, What is it? 50. This one has a daily ATR of 98. So it needs to move about a half a day's worth of movement. All it would be doing is retracing its move from yesterday. And right now, once that pound market closes, right now this is dollar strength, not pound weakness. Once that pound weakness starts coming in, it should help accelerate this one, even if the dollar is being sold off because of profit. Even when we push back down again. So potentially, it's a profit target for today, but potentially, if we're able to be down here for tomorrow, um, I think 127.04. 127.04 is a decent level to take off of. How much risk is it? It's only 15 pips. That's not bad, right? 15 pips for a news trade on the pound dollar. If we're able to deteriorate, I think that's one to look out for, guys, for tomorrow. Um, Maybe it hits it a little bit early. Maybe we kind of meander and stuck in here, and then the news could potentially push us down and then give us a takeoff point. Like if we're here and we punch down, that could be a nice little reversal too. So I like the zone. It's not a bad zone. I wouldn't trade it unless there was news involved with it. Um, but the reaction off of it this morning, I think it's pretty decent. At 5:30 reversal. Pound yen. Pound yen. We talked about this one going higher. We were like, okay, go through. Right? No entry. No entry. No entry. And then this one ended up pulling back to grab the level. And this is the problem with these Harry Potter trades. We're looking for them. You know, you can see. Look at all this. Right? Boom, 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 boom. Right? It's like sellers, sellers, sellers. We can remove this news, and we were talking about, hey, go through and pull back. We did kind of get the pullback. It wasn't super clean. There was a pullback. Again, this is we're talking about finding that level of basing, and we found the level of basing, and it did come back. It kind of missed it on this side. It did give us a pullback, so you could have taken this one and said, well, wait a second, what about this? Yes, there was a base here as well. So we knew coming through, and it's like, oh, it just broke through the top and then it pulled back to this base level. So it kind of went through. Again, we were talking about a break going up all the way up to 185. It's well past 185. 185 is sitting right here. Um, so this one did move through. Again, we were really trying to find where that data was. This is one of those ones that this was really kind of a Sunday night, Monday trade, right? This was one of those swing trades. We were talking about the break, and the break is in. It's hard to kind of dissect it now, right? We were talking about it forever. I'm just gonna pull I'm gonna leave that one. Um, So right now, let's run some fibs from here. I'm not going to do the whole one right now. I don't need to do the whole one. Yeah, nice little target level right here. becomes a. I think that becomes a short target first. Um, hmm. Hmm. I like this one right now. Go up to, actually 21. 21 is not horrible. 21 is not horrible. So I ended up having to use the green. I would have preferred to use the red, but that's kind of where it took off and kind of was testing. This is one of those trades where it's like, it's kind of a decent trade. Um, 1 to 3 is right there. It's a little tiny bit deep for what I would like. I kind of like where this reversal is. The reason why is we had a strong top end. We've kind of hit it. We're kind of fighting with it again. This green candle ended up pushing lower than where the buyers were in. Um, hmm. We're expecting that pound weakness because of the data to come in, right? I'm wondering if we can get the yen help. Yeah. Big question is, can we get assistance from the yen on this one? I do think we see the pound weakness starting to roll in a little bit. Question is, can we stomach this initial drive? Right? Can we stomach this initial drive? It's not a bad short. Right? It's been here. It's fighting. There's some buyers down below. I think if it really starts to push back down again, the pound won't be able to save itself at that point. We start to roll. It'll be purely left up to the market. And again, traders looking tomorrow for weak data for the pound. Question is the yen going to be able to help us or not? Right? Is the yen will start to dominate this one as a proxy right now? Um, hmm. This could turn into like a weak versus weak scenario. Ugh. I hate strong versus strong is one thing, but weak versus weak, it's kind of like right. Mm. Eh, it's a zone. It's not bad. We do have a red, green, red confirmation off that one, although it's trying to break above. Man, it's really even on a 15-minute. It's trying to put new levels in. It had to go all the way back to here, and kind of got a little bit of a hiccup and hit it. But if it starts to fail on this one, I don't know that that one holds. And this one, again, it went pretty deep. It may move all the way down to this level right here, which is the profit target. So it's close. It's right there. Um, again, not the worst of trades, and it's right at 10:32. God, I hate having to rely on the yen on this one. Anyway, not the worst of trade setups there. Again, sometimes you're going to take losers in there. This may be one of those ones that you place it. Again, it's only 22 pips for a pound yen. That's not that much. Again, it has a daily ATR of 158, 4 hour of 48. So again, risk occurs. Market should start preparing. What I'm afraid on this one is it's going to just peek its head, just break right through the top, and that's going to be the sell point, and then it's going to go all the way down and be down over here. That's kind of my one fear with this one because again, the yen. The yen. Oh, how I dislike you sometimes. So, anyway, dollar CAD. So, dollar CAD, obviously, with the dollar pushing back up again, we talked about having a big level here. Not really, we were looking for a break through the top, and you can see it hit it, smashed it, smashed it, smashed it, smashed it, pulled back kind of that same level, smashed it again, kind of pulled back again and smashed it. We talked about being able to run all the way up to 135.63. It looks like it made it up to 135.53. We missed it by about 10 pips before it reversed and turned back on us. And that was late last night. It has pushed back down again in 135. Again, we know 135 is going to be the big level. That's why there was so much drama here. Um, yeah, I mean, ugh, it's just one of those levels, right? Um, See, this is that strong because you have oil up pretty decently, helping the cat a little bit, but we have the dollar rallying back again. So the big question is going to be what will happen? And again, I'm just going to mark this off here, right? Just on both sides. Just again, keep that 35 in context, right? Top, 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 right through, bottom, bottom. Can't believe we missed this top by 10. Oh, actually, we talked about a profit target. Oh, that's not bad. Look at this profit target of 135.53. It made it to 155. Oh, I'm sorry. 135.51. It made it to 135.52.8. Right. So it actually did hit the profit target that we talked about at the top side. So, all right. That's just good. We talked about this whole area. So we did make it. We did make it. All right. Um, Actually, at this point, let's run this all the way up. Let's see. We're going to get any help here. No, just at 135. Hmm. So with this rolling back down, I think if we can break through 135, we're going to start playing with this area. Um, Reason I mark this off again, there's a decent top with a confirmation over here. A few of the charts right now, and again, with the dollar basically surging this week, um, we've really seen where the dollar is being very, very on the high side of things. Okay. Um, with that said, being that high, being so high in the curve, if we open up here Sunday night before the US market opens over here, I wonder if we're going to see a little bit of dollar weakness pulling back, right? Pulling back. And again, we've had great data for the CAD, right? The CAD data is pretty good. So, and again, could something happen this weekend with oil? Sure. Giving oil strength also gives the CAD some strength. So, again, not so much of a trade right now, right? Um, It's not really. Is there anything crappy for the dollar tomorrow? Permits. We should see industrial production. Oh, that's yesterday. Today, tomorrow. No, there's zero. Hmm. CAD does have some data though that's expected to be pretty good. Mortgage delinquencies. I guess that's the only thing. Tentative. Maybe be out. Yeah, my feeling is I'm kind of trying to find a way to get short dollar on this one. Yeah, yeah. I kind of like to see where that is. I'm wondering next week if this is a swing trade, we take dollar CAD short, right? Maybe back down to this 103 area. 134. Just by the way that this is pushing higher. Again, I think we have a bit of a retracement coming on this one. But as far as a trade right now, not really. again, there's enough down here where I'm hesitant to just say take this one short down to the 23. A lot of congestion at the 23, so it obviously could be a balance point. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow morning we start down here and then we see a dollar. I don't want to see dollar surge, but maybe we see the dollar. Get some bulls come into it again tomorrow morning, even though there's no news, right? Um, yeah, maybe we pull something out of that one. Dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss, we talked about selling. We knew last week, actually this Monday, look, we had this big spike up. We were talking about getting short, and it's really just kind of stabilized itself. You can see, look at this. This one, I mean, I'm just going to draw. This is not there's no official zone here, but look how much time right in here. Look at this. Look how much time that it's spent in here, right? Up, down, boom. Kind of topped it. Top, top, pierced out, came up, based, right? Top, bottom in that base, right? Rode the bottom, kind of base, pulled up, hit the top, hit the bottom, or hit the top, the bottom, based and use it, and now we're smashing around again. So a lot of basing sideways in this one. Um, we were talking about getting short up in here for somewhere. There was kind of a new top put in. You could have used this one right here and said, okay, there's the green top. It did have a touch on Wednesday. You guys could have taken yesterday. It wasn't a monstrous move. It was all right. Um, it's okay. Right now, I think this one probably comes up, but this is not. I mean, right now, it's too big of a run. Right now, it's what 38 pips. It's only got a 60 pip ATR. The 4 hour, is only 24. We would need to this would be a European or a US based open trade. But again, with it sitting very, very high, if we start to see the dollar kind of retracing, coming back down to that 102, the dollar next back into that 102.50 range, I would say it's probably kind of an area where it's turn and flip, but not really set up right now. I mean, nothing in here is explosive. It's just kind of a grind, a slow grind to the downside. And it did. It found buyers over here as it should. And it's kind of grinding higher. And the kind of idea today is, yeah. Yeah, I think it's an okay level. Maybe Sunday night again in reversal. It's too far right now for how much this can move in a day to really be focused on it today. I think we'll talk about it again tomorrow. I think tomorrow morning makes a bit more sense on how to trade that one. Dollar yen. You can see dollar yen kind of had that same peak late last night. Um, we were talking about this one just again, not really trying to slow this one down. That again, we had 145 drawn through. It looks like Sunday night is where we really went through. We broke that when we came back up. Again, looks like Wednesday afternoon. That's where we broke through. Came up 147. We didn't quite get to, and then it pulled back again. So you can see it didn't really align with any fib trades or anything yet, or fib levels. There was obviously the basing level sitting right here, and this is where the big impulse, the correction move, kind of stabilized itself, and then it exploded off of, and that's what it hit this morning. And this is what I'm talking about. Can we get any help from the yen? And right now, at least versus the dollar, not really. I mean, this is a US Open in an area of buyers on a pullback. Again, a nice impulse correction, impulse, big corrective move. And now we'll see if we're going to kind of rally back higher. And are we on a mission for 147, right? Can we pop up that high? I love this. Dollar weakness. 21 minutes ago. Dollar weakness follows China's move to support Taiwan. And then what happens? Oh, that dollar weakness. Yeah. Dollar weakness. And as soon as it comes out, it goes straight up. It's funny. Since this news article came out, it's been like a 50 pip run to the top side. This has a new top put in. We haven't hit that top. Something similar to like this where we put a new top. I think be very, very cautious. Actually, probably go a little higher than that. I think this is a level to be cautious with. And the reason I'm marking it off right now, it could absolutely hit it today. It's only 30 pips, right? This has a 36 pip ATR on the 30, on the 4 hour, I mean, right? We absolutely could touch this one today. There could potentially be a short. If we rally straight up from basically the US Open, straight up into that level at 46.40, absolutely could be a level where there's taking profit, right? From that initial push, that would be 63. That'd be 63 pips, half a daily move. Absolutely a profit target where people will start selling from it. Depending on how we head straight up into there, it could be a level where we want to take a short from it. Right now, we got about 4 hours worth of movement to get there. I think it probably hits by 12 or 1 o'clock. If we go straight up, I think it's a turn of reversal back to the downside. So I think it's a pretty decent trade setup, a decent level. We could get stuck again. There's 3 wicks right here, all pushing down a little sawtooth right here. again, being 1030, we could potentially hit this. I don't want to draw this one and be like, okay, get short 146. And then all of a sudden it does this and hits this level right here and then goes boom, right down. And you're like, ah, because there's a legitimate level sitting right here. Right. And being the fact that it's 1030, I think that's something you need to watch out for. So just keep that there. As far as commodities go, again, we can see oil is way back down again. We were calling for shorts. The shorts came in late Thursday. We had a Harry Potter. We were talking about getting short, and this one did pull back. We're looking for the kind of the pullback, right? No base, no entry, no entry, right? Hit it, broke it. Okay, where's the entry, right? The entry would have been, whoops. The entry would have actually been, why is it disappearing on me? The entry level would have been right there, right? So if you put this across, you can see that there was the Harry Potter trade we were talking about. The risk was a little bit more on it. And there's your 8. This is where it would have hit, and this would have grabbed on Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning. And there you go. You were out of this one Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. This was another big area. We said, hey, listen, watch out, get out before profit before here. You can see it came down, it hit it, it bounced, it based in it, came back, hit it, and then continued to use it. Another little Harry Potter trade set up right here on this profit target. So again, a great little move on that one. So let's take this, and this off. We ended up going through 80, which I think is great. We ended up using all the way down to here. Wow, we went all the way down to the 50. Wow, grab the 79. I'm kind of surprised it went that far down. Look, there was your base, your rally. It came back and used it. I'm kind of surprised it went all the way down to there. But again, I've been on for the week. So, yeah, last night and then it rallied back up again. So, I think of things right now to talk about. Again, run this one from high to low. It's a very technical tier of the market. You can see it got front run at the 23, pushed down, and they all got stopped out. There was no zone there, so definitely not a short for us. This would have been one of those fib traders trying to get in there quickly. You know, this trade obviously we know it's actually there to here. I'm gonna remove. Actually, let's see. I'm gonna mark this here to here. Actually, we can go here to there. We're gonna mark that one off just to leave it there because I think there's the potential that that could be a returning point. But I'm looking at this right now and say, a little sawtooth action. Red, green, hit it, red down, came up, green confirmed it, and it now happens to be sitting at a 50. And again, I'm never shy to say, hey, listen, if oil gets to this level, I think this could be a potential short. 81.81. About $1 higher than where we are right now, right? About $1 higher than where we are right now. I'd like to see how we enter that market, but I think this is a potential setup for oil. Right in there. Right in there. I don't think that one's bad. I like that one. Again, it would have to clear through the top. I like the confirmation. I like that it's a 50. I like all things about that one. So again, not a right now trade, but we'll see. There is this contract switch, and again, we all know what happens with a contract switch. It's going to gap up. That would be the one thing to watch out for is kind of see what it does after the contract switch, because it always pops up, right? It always gaps up. So this is why I hate futures, right? I get it. People love futures, but this is why I hate futures because you're going to see this, and all of a sudden there'll be a gap for the contract switch. It's such garbage. Natural gas. So natural gas up 2%, not as much as it was. Again, run this one from high to low. I think is the best thing to do. There's a level of base in there. I don't know if it hit it or not. You could say that there's the confirmation coming in. It got super close. You probably got front run on this one for a short to the downside. It makes sense. Again, natural gas rises ahead of fresh storage data as hot weather continues. You know, I feel like, in all honesty, I feel like the hot weather condition continue thing here. Again, we're halfway through August. We're about to hit September. I feel like we're getting ready to that excuse is getting ready to deteriorate. I like that we're holding at the 164. I think we have more downturn. We'll see. I don't know what the storage coming out is. It looks like it's kind of fluctuating back and forth. I guess we could hit it real quick. Look at the long term purchases. Just a miss, a little bit of a miss. So natural gas came in exactly as expected. No difference whatsoever. So you're seeing that chop back and forth. It was an increase. Again, it's an increase, but like, oh, the hot weather, right? It continues. So yeah, I would say this one probably pushes back down. It probably rests. I don't know if we can clear the 258 level, so just be cautious of that one. Do take profit at 260 though if it comes down. Again, a little bit more, a little difficult there. Um, Gold, a lot of talk about. You can see that gold. We had this little trade set up here from last Thursday. We hit it. It was a very, very fast trade. We ended up using this level on the other side a couple times. Let's get this one ready for what's next. Right now, start of the move. We knew we had buying coming in right there. Yeah, look at that. Look at this little spike here on Tuesday. Boing and straight up. Was that news on Tuesday? I don't even know. I've been so out of it all week. Yeah, it was the retail sales. All the retail sales dated 8:30. Yep, 8:30. So yeah, so there was the news trade. It came down, grabbed it, and took off. Right now, let's see. Mm, take a look. Target is hit. Pull out. This. So you can say we had the Harry Potter talking about 1981, or 1891, and it went down to 1889. So it's beyond. We talked about a profit. Obviously the level right in here. We said, hey, get yourself out before that. Gap. There's a couple areas in here that aren't horrible. These are back in March is the only problem. Bit of a gap with some testing on it. Have we breached this one yet? Probably not breached. Uh, Not yet. So I think this is an area we need to watch out for. And again, this could be a Sunday night type trade. A decent touch too. Yeah, I think watch out for that one. Decent trade. Again, watch this one come down. I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce off 1886. It's already kind of been front run a little bit, but as we push through, again, kind of meets the same narrative where we start to see profit taking from the dollar come in. I think it has a hard time kind of breaking through this. And again, gold's up 0.15. Silver's kind of coming back into order. It's up, even though it's really kind of down, as far as what we've seen. So, um, yeah, it probably bounces a little bit. Probably bounces a little bit. And again, any weak, any mention of kind of pausing weakness in the dollar or anything like that. I think right now this is being driven more by the yen, or by the won. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Sunday night, I think this could kind of push back up again. Right? Again, we need some dollar weakness coming through. Silver. Funny enough, silver shot straight up at 8:30 this morning. We had a little level here that was confirmed. This was from Thursday of last week. We didn't have any idea, but that's what it ran into. And again, it kind of coincided with the 23.6. It was a weird level. So, you know, not bad. That was a level from last week, though, right? From last week. But I think more importantly, it was a 23, not a 23.6, a $23 mark. It's funny that the 23.6 and a $23 mark is the same thing, or real close. Nice little short, right? Nice little short. It's pulling back right now. It's in between the two levels. Again, being down at 22.60. It probably starts to slow right now. I don't think it probably moves too much more. Again, there's a small area of buyers would not be interested in taking a reversal. And where this one is right now, again, if we're low in the curve, I'd say that, kind of similar to what gold is, that it would be, a potential area to turn and flip. But, you know, it's all right. God, I wish there was a good zone down there to be like, that's not a bad one to take, right? Sure, all your Harry Potter got hit. Right now, this is the zone we're playing with, and we're sitting right in the middle of it. Everything and anything, this one deteriorates a little bit lower. Not interested in buying here. It probably has a little bit of a hard time chopping through. I actually won't be surprised if it like kind of comes down and starts playing around and then does one of these, right? Nothing super explosive. We're gonna run out of time on this one. But without any catalyst, I don't think we're gonna get much for tomorrow. So we got Apple. Oof, Apple taking a drop again. Smashed into this 177. It finally broke through. Tesla, same thing. There's been some weird. Oh, what is this? Seriously? I didn't do that. Did you see that? Where the heck did that like see how it moved over by itself? Wow. Okay. That was new. I don't know if that's an option that was put in, but I didn't do that. That was weird. Okay. So, yeah, Tesla continuing to deteriorate. Again, a lot of things out there. There was some PepsiCo data that came out regarding the Tesla semis. We'll see. I think this one probably continues to deteriorate. Again, let's see what the dollar's doing. Yeah, dollar kind of is again gapping up, finding an area of buying down here. Looks like we had an area. We were able to kind of chop through it. We'll see. There's a little bit more right below where we are. Whoops, that's the Dow. Sorry. Let's click in this one. Okay, we did turn on. I was like, yeah, it's rallying back up. I think the dollar has the ability to kind of go further. So again, we'd expect to see the indices to stay in the red as long as that is going. Let's see. Yes, if we had anything this morning. I don't think we did when I looked at it. Now, 8:15, 9:30, it did pull back up. The 9:30, look, the 8:15, I'm sorry, the 9:15 was a green, not in a great level, right? It would kind of given us a red, then it gave us a green. If you had taken the confirmation, the red, green, red close, it has continued to push all the way back down again. There was obviously buying, and again, there was a little bit of a confirmation there, and that's kind of what we're trying to bounce off of. Um, again, opening print was up here. Again, the 9:15 green, forming a red, green, red. Kind of a short, but again, doesn't meet our qualifications, was not hitting his own. So, yeah, it was more set up for a short, but not really an entry for us. NQ, um, this one just didn't even slow down. We knew it was right at 15,000. Not anything over there. We had this nice little perk higher. Um, this one had a little bit of a confirmed zone in the overnight. But I think the problem with this one is even if you would look to this confirmed zone right here, you knew that you had a top in, you did not have a 1 to 3. It would have been very, very hard to get that full win in. As well as, again, you can see the 15,000. 15,000 is going to be an absolutely monstrous number psychologically. So many zeros across the board. I mean, there's five, five, the 3 plus the 2 cents. Um, Kind of a hard one to be able to kind of say, hey, listen, we're going to go through, we're going to smash through it. We were up there at opening print. So not really surprised that this one collapsed and continued to push lower. It is the weakest of all of them as well. And again, funny, it was rally, 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 rally. Hit 15,000, market open, boom, straight down. Okay, so it did give us kind of a pullback, but again, not really in his zone. It would have been better if it was a little bit higher. But again, the 15,000 psychological level wiped this one out. The yen, or I'm sorry, the Dow, 915 went straight up. No, unfortunately, look, higher, higher, higher. And we were sitting right 915 went even higher. Yeah, there was nothing. Again, choppy, nothing. And again, it's the only one that's positive right now, which is probably why. Right? A lot of chop on this one. Let's see, is there going to be a reversal today? Yeah, there is a small zone. So if this one is able to go up much, much higher, there is probably a small zone there. Question is, is it going to deteriorate or continue to fall from this level? So, we'll see. It's all right. It's all right. It is a 61.8, so there will be people trading this high to low, and there is a level of sellers there. So again, if you are looking for something to get in later, there is a spot. And then as far as Russell goes, it's the same thing. Here's your 930. It went up and grabbed that level. Now, actually, this one actually did kind of have a confirmed level. No, it's from Wednesday. But if you had taken the base in here and say, okay, listen, there's your base, there's your top, there's your 930 candle. So you could have actually gotten into Russell. We had pulled away and say, okay, well, there's your new base. It didn't really give us a red, green, red, but you could have gotten into this one short. It's the closest one to being able to say, hey, listen, you could have gotten into a short. It's okay. Does it meet our qualification? Not so much. I mean, there's kind of it pushed it deep. And then when we kind of put a new high in, it's kind of like, well, there's your kind of new level. And we did push down. If you go to a 5-minute, you can see that we had the basing in there. Here's the 915 we drove down, and then 930 it shot straight up and grabbed that base and then continued to push lower. So, although not really a true opening print, it did give you a level of basing, right? A drop down before the market opened, and then when the market opened, it grabbed it and then went. So, it is a pattern that we talk about. Is it the confirmed level overnight formation? No, that one was way back here. It's just a little tiny bit higher. You would have gotten in at the 8:30 kind of news release time. That would have looked like this, right? And you would have hit it here, right? This would have been Wednesday afternoon hit. And then again, this would have been, I guess, more of an 8:30 kind of newsish type trade. But as far as opening print goes, it would have been down here, right? It would have been this, right? The level of basing right there, right? The base, the hit, the pullback is what that pattern would look like. So, all right, well, that's it for today. We're about 15 minutes late. Sorry, I was answering those messages from Melissa, just making sure that she didn't need me for anything. She had to call me because Jen was hysterical earlier in the week, so I was just making sure we didn't have to deal with that again. Thankfully, it looks the last message was, I'm going to close my eyes. Everybody else is asleep. So it looks like, at least for this first 3 legs, I mean, it's 6:30 their time. That's what they're used to. At least the first leg, it looks like they're doing good. We'll do the drawing. Just so everybody knows, because I've missed this entire week, I figured I would go ahead and do a 100 pip chip drawing today. I'm going to, and I guess I should have told Ernest, but he would have, because it's 100, he would have went in 10 anyway, so it's fine. I'm holding his double drawing, right, until Monday, right? So we're going to do a 100 pip chip today, 100 pip chip tomorrow to make sure this week is clean. And then Ernest will be regardless of what happens on Friday, Ernest will go in. It'll be a fresh 25, but Ernest will be going for his 100 on the double on Monday. That was the most fair way I think I could do it instead of just doing 50-50-50s. So he could take advantage of the missed days, but still have his winning streak. Because right now, if it's 100 and he was only going for 100, there's no big benefit for him. So you know how he is with being fair, right? It's got to be fair, right? We don't want to, he told me that the secret of fixing my my throat was ice cream and whiskey, right? He told me if I did that, I would be cured in a day, right? I don't know that worked, but, this way I'm going to keep it fair. So today is going to be 100. Tomorrow will be 100. And then Monday we'll be back at 25, but Ernest will be going for his kind of second win in the pattern. All right. So I will give you guys till the 4-minute mark to be able to put this one in. Just in case Will or Debbie wants to put any more in. Typically not. Will and Debbie don't. Debbie sometimes gets a little bit crazy. Will never, right? Will never gets crazy. Will's like, I'm going to win it on one and feel extra special, or that's it. I'm just going with the freebies. And we'll see if the two juggernauts are able to take it from each other, right? You know what? This is kind of funny. All right, hold on. 3, 2, 1. All right. This is, you know what this is? This is pip chip roulette, right? This is pip chip roulette. I'm going to say it right now, right? It's pip chip roulette. We have our black and our red tiles, and then we have our 2 greens, right? Because in the United States, we have to screw people extra hard, right? In the rest of the world, they use just a 0. But in the United States, we have a double 0, right? Just to lower the percentages anymore, right? Right? So we got black, red, and 2 green tablets. All right, winner of today's drawing is... Neuro takes it. That was a tough one. All right, which is good. So Ernest still has his streak. Neuro gets his 100 today, right? And again, tomorrow will also be a 100 pip chip drawing. So let's go ahead and put that 100 in. All right, there we go. All right. So with that said, guys, again, I apologize for everything this week. Again, obviously my voice is better. I made it all the way through. Those special cough drops definitely help. Definitely a big fan of those. Doesn't feel like I'm swallowing a porcupine at this point, which is awesome. It's just like a smooth marble, so at least I can eat again. I'm not crying for breakfast. But with that, I'll let you guys go. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Missed you guys all this week. It was good to actually get a couple days off. Not because I was in pain. The pain was, that was the reason I got off. It wasn't because I needed a break, but it was nice to recharge the batteries. And boy, does that one drug drop me out, knock me out. So with that, see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. I'll see you then.